definition.
From the Tri-State's first high-def station, this is Good Morning Tri-State.
There are new tax laws relating to the new economic stimulus package. The question is, how will it affect us? Our financial expert, Bill Hesch, is here to break it down for us. Good morning and welcome back.
Good morning, Janelle. It's great to be here.
Well, let's begin first off with making this actually work for us. Tell us how this can work for us.
Well, they have over 300 changes in the tax law.
Oh, that's a lot.
So we've got an outline we're going to be posting on your website, my website. We're going to talk on 5 areas this morning. One is if you're working, and it applies to anyone that's earning $6,500 this year and also next year. So there's a withholding that is a $400 tax credit that you'll be able to get this year and next year at very low income levels. So that applies to most everybody.
That's true. Now, what about the home buyer tax credit? Kind of explain that to us, too, because that's changed.
This is really confusing for everyone because they got a new credit effective this year that's $8,000, where last year's credit was $7,500. But now this year's credit, if you buy a home this year,
in 09.
Up through November 30th, okay, you can take the credit on last year's tax return.
Okay.
Okay, but this credit is not, if you stay in a home for 3 years, you don't have to pay it back. Don't get confused. If you bought your house last year, you still have to pay it back over a 15-year period.
So if you take that $7,500 credit and you bought the house in 08, you still have to pay it back. But if you buy a house in 09 up until the end of November, the $8,000 credit, you don't have to pay back.
And you can use it on your 2008 tax return.
Oh,
so
wow,
all the effective dates are really confusing. There's also a new car tax deduction that if you buy a new car up to $50,000, you get a tax deduction. It's not a credit. This one's a tax deduction.
Okay.
And this is effective for February 17th of 2009. So it is January 1. It's only if you bought a car February 17th and later this year that you get this new car deduction. And so that's something else you want to look for too.
And this is to motivate people obviously to get the economy stirring, buy a car.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now let's move on to the education credit.
The education credit has been expanded now, and this is effective for 09 and 010. And now part of it can even be refundable. So those of you that may have been having education and you didn't owe a tax, 40% of the credit is refundable. The first $2,000 is 100% as a credit. And the next $2,500 is 25% as a credit. So it's a little bit confusing there. And it applies to education paid in 09. So if you paid your 09 education in December of 08, it doesn't apply to this new credit.
I see. Okay.
So more confusion.
And tell us too about the home energy credit. Hopefully this one isn't as confusing.
Well, not necessarily, because there are energy savings. This credit, the credit that really expired last year for home energy credit, the old one, which was $500. This one is $1,500.
So a little bit more.
A little bit more. It's 30% of $5,000 in purchases, and it does apply to energy saving items in your home, whether it's windows, doors, insulation, hot water heater, new air conditioner, furnace. So it is pretty expansive. So if you're making home improvements 09, 010, you have this new energy credit.
And of course, as Bill explained, anytime you're doing taxes, it can be confusing, but he has all of this listed on his website. Give us your website again, Bill.
It's HeschCPA.com, www.HeschCPA.com.
And we're going to have a link on our website as well after the show for you to check it out. So thank you so much, Bill. We appreciate it.
Great to be here.